1 second, just. Yeah. Let me quickly sing this morning prayers in our temples. Okay, so. You made me also right. Thank you, Prabhuji. Let me share screen. Thank you very much, all the wonderful devotees joining today. Of course, you all tired last night with the wonderful time with His Grace, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. I am personally missing his association, but virtually I was attended the class in our YouTube channel, Lilananda Prabhu's YouTube channel. So wonderful. Yesterday he explained so nicely on the Gajendra Moksham prayer, surrender, multiple pastimes, Gajendra Moksham and Ajabila pastime. So nice. You are all very fortunate, and I need to touch your lotus feet because you got wonderful association of great soul, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. With this, I am seeking all of your blessings and prayers. Let me start with this. Our temple Darshanarati, it's called Srungararati or Darshanarati. So we always, every day, new dress, different color, each day different color. It's in the timetable. What needs to be dressed on the day, on these lordships, on which color, on which day. It's properly, nicely organized deity worship in all of our ISKCON temples. So with this, let me do this singing. Okay. Voice, audio, and everything clear, right, Prabhuji? All Prabhujis? Voice on the clear,
yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, very clear, Prabhuji.
Yeah, you are not able to hear. I mean, Kirtan, wonderful Kirtan is going on here. Actually, Praveen Prabhu, we shared a couple of pictures of this Amarendra Prabhu and his brother Arjun Saka Prabhu in Seattle.
Yes,
So actually, Arjun Saka Prabhu is visiting here in Dallas. So this is the third program. It's going on. I'll show after completion of our call. So you all take darshan of him. I mean, that's going on. But since I committed this class, let me complete. I'm putting my recording. Then I'll hear the lecture.
Very good.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah. Govindam Adipurusha Tamaha Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusha Tamaha Bhajami. Venum Panantamaravindalayataksam Parhavatam Samastitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarbhakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobha Govindam Adipurusha Tamaha Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusha Tamaha Bhajami. Angani Yasya Sakale Driyavritti Manti Pasyanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jwala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusha Tamaha Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusha Tamaha Bhajami. Govinda Adi Purusha Tamaha Bhajami Govinda Adi Purusha Tamaha Bhajami. Sri Brahma Savitam prayers ki jai, Supreme Personality of God, Sri Govindan ki jai, Brahma ki jai. Lavanya, can you please read this translation quickly? Hare Krishna, Lavanya.
Hello, Hare Krishna.
Can you please read translation of these two prayers? Govinda Adi Purusha. Haribol. I'm not able to hear you, Lavanya.
It's a third one and fifth one. Say.
Yeah, third one, fifth one. Yes.
Okay. So nobody did. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute, with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with the figure of beauty tinged with pure blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of the transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs and eternally sees, maintains, manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Yes. Let me sing this one. Sri Guru Charana. Guru Vandanam. Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Vandamoi Savadana Mate Vandamoi Savadana Mate Yahara Prasade Bhai E Bhava Toriya Jai Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoite Krishna Prapti Hai Jaha Hoite Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitte Korina Aikya Arana Kori Ho Mane Asha Arana Kori Ho Mane Asha Sri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati Ye Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Ye Prasade Pure Sarva Asha Chakudan dilo jai, janme janme Prabhu say. Chakudan dilo jai, janme janme Prabhu say. Divya gyan hriday prakashito, divya gyan hriday prakashito. Prema bhakti jaha hoite avidya vinasa jate. Prema bhakti jaha hoite avidya vinasa jate. Vede gai jaha racharito. Vede gai jaha racharito. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Jenara Bandhu. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Jenara Bandhu. Lokanath Loke Rajivana. Lokanath Loke Rajivana. Aha Prabhu Koro Daya Deho More Padachaya. Aha Prabhu Koro Daya Deho More Padachaya. Ebejas Dushuk Tribhuvana. Ebejas Dushuk Tribhuvana. Shila Prabhupada Patita Pavana. Shila Gurudev Loilu Cherana. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Srila Guru Deva, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Guru Vandanam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Narottam Das Thakur ki jai. Let us read and meditate upon this translation of the Guru Vandana. Anybody likes to help yourself, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Raj Prabhu, lead complete.
The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with a great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attaching to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him, ecstatic prema emanates. By him, ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Lokanatha Goswami, O master, be merciful unto me. Give me shade of your lotus feet. Your fame spread all over the three worlds. Hare Krishna. Dhanavad.
Thank you very much, Raj Prabhuji. So with this mood, no, it's their mercy. It's their mercy. Srila Prabhupada is so nicely written all these purports, translations, word by word meaning in English. You know, Srimad Bhagavatam translated up to 10th can, some of the chapters. So much blood, so much effort he put in, Srila Prabhupada. So it's a Prabhupada mercy. All the various Siksha Gurus, Guru Maharaj mercy, with their mercy, I'm able to speak few words. And with their prayers, their blessings, I'm continuing Srimad Bhagavatam session. And I'm very grateful to all the wonderful devotees here, especially our group led by His Grace, Lilananda Prabhu, Her Grace, Anuradha Priya Mataji, all the wonderful preachers and senior devotees. Please give your blessings. So let me start. It's Bhagavatam today. Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 10th chapter we are going to read today. So with this, let me do Mangalacharana prayers. Before that, let me sing for 1-2 minutes Jai Radha Madhava. In any class, this is written by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Right, setting the mood, our parampara teaches us how to worship Srimad Radharani, Supreme Lord Govinda Krishna. Shri Radha Kalachandri ki jai. Here in Dallas, the presiding deity is Shri Radha Kalachandri ki jai. With their blessings, Jagannath Baldev Sudhadevi, Shri Gaurnita, all the wonderful, glorious Madhvacharya, Madhva Chandradaya, all the various spiritual masters, taking blessings from them. Let me sing 2 minutes, Jai Radha Madhavan, then we'll start with Mangalacharana prayer. We'll continue reading, discussing on the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 10th chapter, creation of the universe. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ramo Ramo Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ramo Ramo Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Srila Guru Deva, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai. So this background, as I especially put, to inspire myself actually. Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, 25 verse. What is that verse? Yajnanam japa yajñosmi. Yajnanam japa yajñosmi. In our devotional life, chanting the holy names of the Lord is the crucial, and it is the dependence, the advancement, our progression in the path of Krishna Prema depends on how we take up the chanting process. Right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare. Iti Shodashkanamnam Kali Kalmashanashanam Nataparatayot Sarva Vedesh Krishyam. What is this? It's 16 syllables. Everything is there in the power. What is that? In the Shastaka prayer, second verse. Nam Nama Kari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. That's why it's called Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Different names. Krishna is different names. Each name is so potent. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is given in this Kali Yuga. Kali Kalena Namarupa Krishna Matara. Our 99% depending on how we take up the process of chanting the holy names. Right? Every day we have 7:30 call. Please join. 4 rounds, 30 minutes, 32 minutes maximum. If we take cool nicely, it won't take 8 minutes per round. I'm humbly requesting, please join. Chanting the holy names of God is the primary activity of a devotee. That is the highest priority in every devotee's life. Remembering Lord, how we remembering, how we chant, how we hear. Three senses. How our mind also engaged. Even though mind is wandering in nature, but still we have to be employed. Prabhupada writes in his purports, employ our senses in the service of the Lord. What is the best service? Chanting. Chanting is, what is the meaning of chanting? Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Krishna, please engage me in your service. Krishna, Radharani, pleasure potency, please engage me in your service so that Rishikena, Rishikesha, Savanam, Bhakti Ruchyate. With this mode of chanting, let us discuss about the Srimad Bhagavatam. Let me take up all the Vaishnava Acharya's blessings, Mangalacharana prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshauranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamascha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkrpatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Om apavitra pavitro va sarvavastam gato iva yasmare kundari kaksham sabhyabhyantaram suchihi. Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. Just opening the chapter, just hold on, please. Yeah, here also Kirtan. I am in another satsang, sorry. Now I get some peace. 1 second. Yeah. Yes. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto. Let me. Yes, thank you so much for waiting. Oh, sorry, some technical glitch. Couldn't able to share. So let me put this, advanced view. Just let us know. So Devanagari. Yes. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3. Canto 3 is the title of the status quo. So far, we have done different chapters by our dear friends, dear Prabhu's. Chapter 1 by chapter 1, questions by Vidura. Chapter 2, remembrance of Lord Krishna. Chapter 3, the Lord's pastimes out of Vrindavana. Chapter 4, Vidura approaches Maitreya. Chapter 5, Vidura talks with Maitreya. Chapter 6, creation of the universal form. Chapter 7, further inquiries by Vidura. Chapter 8, manifestation of Brahma from Garbhodakashari Vishnu. Chapter 9, Brahma's prayers for creative energy. Today, we are going to read this. Chapter 10, divisions of creation. Different divisions, how Brahma is created. Of course, the original creator is everything come from Krishna only, but he has given the departmental job to Brahma. So how he created, we will learn from this chapter. Yesterday, Lilananda Prabhu completed this chapter, chapter 9, Brahma's prayers for creative energy. So let me start here. Please, some of you, please unmute yourself. Please repeat after me. At least one verse, let us recite and understand translation, and we'll continue. Okay, and please repeat after me 3 times. I'm going to do. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Please repeat.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Yeah.
Prabhuji 18 plus 18 పెట్టుకుందాం. 9:30 క్లాస్ అది గౌరవం 18 కి భాగవతం క్లాస్ తర్వాత అయిపోయిందా స్పెషల్ క్లాస్ అనుకుంటాము.
Raju Prabhu, please keep yourself mute. Yes. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaivam narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate buddhamasloki bhaktir bhavati naishtiki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nandagopa kumaraya govindaya namo namaha namo pankaja nabhaya namo pankaja maline namo pankaja netraya namo pankaja angrahe. So these are the Bhagavatam prayers. Yes, and this one. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttamasloki bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. So, nityam bhagavata sevaya. We have to read every day. So our some of us, 10, 12 devotees every morning we are joining in the readings of Srila Prabhupada, translations and purports of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in a sequence. Till now we have completed Bhagavad Gita. In daily calls, every day I put the messages. Please join, and you can join for 15-20 minutes. You can drop off. There is no obligation that you can stay until it's okay, no problem. We are open. Please join for 15-20 minutes. I am requesting. So it's a service. Reading also in a service to Krishna. We are not reading a mundane subject matter. We are reading a transcendental subject matter which helps, which purifies our existence. So Prabhupada writes that the more we associate with the transcendental topics, the better our next life. So divisions of the creation, text 1, Vidura Uvacha. 1, 2 devotees, please repeat after me. At least one verse, let us do this. Vidura Uvacha.
Vidura Uvacha.
Antarihe Bhagavati.
Antarihe Bhagavati.
Brahma Loka Pitamaha.
Brahmaloka Pitamaha.
Praja Sasarja Katidha.
Praja Sasarja Katidha.
Daihikirmana Sirvibhu.
Daihikirmana Sirvibhu.
I will do 2 lines. You also do. Next time 3 times. Next time complete verse you all do. Okay. Vidura Uvacha Antarihite Bhagavati Brahmaloka Pitamaha.
Vidurovacha Antarhite Bhagavati Brahmaloka Pitrapitamaha.
Praja Sasarja Katidha Daihikirmanasir Vibhu.
Praja
Sasarja Katidha Daihikirmanasir Vibhu.
Thank you. And I'll do complete verse and 1 to devotees, 1 Mata, 1 Prabhu, can recite. Vidura Vacha Antarihite Bhagavati Brahmaloka Pitamaha Praja Sasarja Katidha Daihikir Manasir Vibhu.
Vidurovacha Antarhite
Bhagavati Brahmaloka Pitamaha
Praja
Katidha
Katidha Daihikirmanasir Vibhu.
Yes. Mataji, any Mataji, please.
Vidura Uvacha Antarihe Bhagavati Brahmaloka Pitamaha Praja Sasarja Katidha Daihikirmanasir Vibhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Sapan Prabhu Sandhya Mataji. So let me read the question. Sri Vidura said, "O great sage, please let me know how Brahma, the grandfather of the plenary inhabitants, created the created the bodies of the living entities from his own body and mind after the disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead." First verse, Srimad Bhagavatam. Janmadhyasya Tene Brahma Hrudaye Adikavaye. Who is Adikavi? Krishna. Krishna is given the instruction to Brahma's heart. Tapa. He heard that. Krishna is given intelligence to create also. Secondary creator. That's why it's called secondary creator. Original creator is Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajantema buddha bhava samnita. Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasya dhananjaya mahi sarvanidam protam sutre manina. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself establishes, I am the only creator. I am the only creator of this material and spiritual worlds. Matta parataram nanyat. All this resting, just like, flower garland, all flowers resting on the thread, all these plant resistance, spiritual and material worlds resting on Krishna. So this after disappearance of Supreme Lord, now it's a Brahma's task how he want to create these different living entities from his own body and his own mind. Okay, so let us start reading some of the. So before that, it's good. It's going to be very nice since you all know yesterday and wonderful association with Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. He has written Bhagavad Gita Subodhini, Bhagavata Subodhini, up to 12 cantos, Chaitanya Subodhini. So these books helps us to understand so nicely on an organized way. So he put a lot of effort in his team, Govardhana College, close to 4, 5, 6 years of effort there to write these books and properly aligned. You all know yesterday Lilananda Prabhu was mentioning. So let me open first the document. Let us see overall verses how the classification is defined in this chapter. Then we will read some of the purports, some of the points from the Veda base from Srila Prabhupada's translations and purports. Let me open up this. Okay.
Prabhuji, we have online version of Subodhini also?
No, Prabhuji. And online means we need to pay, I think, PDFs, they may give. I'm not sure. Because colorful, I have seen this Subodhini books now black and white format, but actually originally when we were in Pune, it's completely color format. The original PDFs maybe we may purchase from the from the Vidyapit.
Okay.
This is we got it from, we purchased and took the scanning of this pages.
Okay.
So it's a small chapter, total 30 verses there in this chapter, Reasons of the Creation. So first 1 to 3 talks about Vidura's inquiries about Brahma's creation. First 3 verses. Vidura inquiring about Brahma's creation. How did Brahma create from his body and mind? That is just now we read the first translation. 4 to 9 talks about Lord Brahma creates the 14 worlds. What are the 14 worlds? Can anybody remember? Atala, Vitala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Patala, from the earthly planets to lower planet. And Bhur, Loka, Surloka, Satyaloka, Tapoloka, Janaloka, and Mahaloka, like that. Total 14 worlds. Lord Brahma creates the 14 worlds. And this universe, four-headed Brahma, led by four-headed Brahma. There are many millions of universes and millions of heads of Brahma. So it's a different, it's the inconceivable energy of Supreme Lord, inconceivable. We cannot, our mind cannot, irreproachable. That's the word. We cannot approach. Our mind is limited. We just have to surrender to the instructions of this literature given by Krishna. Vedaisha sarvair ahameva vedyo vedantakrit vedavideva chaham. I am the compiler. Krishna himself establishes. Vedas also come from him. And what is the goal of Vedas? To know him, to know Krishna. I am the compiler of the Vedas. I am the knower of the Vedas. So this one. So Lord Brahma creates the 14 worlds. Brahma meditated on the Lord for 100 years. Entered the oval of the lotus and divided it into 3 divisions and then into 14 divisions. We can see those verses from 4 to 9. 11 to 13, characteristics of time. Time is eternal actually. Bhagavad Gita talks about 5 topics. Can anybody quickly say what are the 5 different subject matters of Bhagavad Gita? Anybody quickly? What are the 5 subject matters? Okay. In that, which is temporary?
Karma.
Karma is temporal.
Now all 4 are eternal. Krishna's create. We are eternal. Supreme Lord is eternal. His material nature is eternal. And time is eternal. So here Brahma talks about how exactly the characteristics of time. And 14 to 30 verses talks about 10 divisions of creation. 10 divisions of creation. 14 verse talks about 3 types of destruction. 15 to 17 talks about 6 types of primary creation. 18 to 29 talks about 4 types of secondary creation. See how nicely elaborated, if we follow the study books and read those sequentially, we'll get the points. So here, rather than translate, it's the same only, mostly same. Prabhuji added some note points. some connected verses like that, linking from one chapter to other chapter, or linking from that particular chapter ending with that verse and linking it. That's where this is a complete analytical study went through and come up with these documents. So let us read here only first some of the time, and then we will go to Prabhupada purports. So first section talks about Vidura's inquiries about Brahma's creation. First 3 verses. Okay. So anybody help here? Please read. Let us have some, interactive way, not like you can help yourself and you can raise your hand and please read out. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Vidura's inquiries about Brahma's creation. First 3 verses. Go through it.
Okay, Prabhu. So Vidra's inquiries about Brahma's creation. 1 to 2. Vidura inquired, how did Brahma, the grandfather of all plenary inhabitants, okay, create the bodies of living entities from his own body and mind? Kindly eradicate all my doubts and answer my inquiries. Being enlivenced, Maitreya began to reply the questions which he had kept in heart. Okay, did not forget. Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji. So this is called, Vidura Maitreya conversations. Wonderful conversation, the Bhagavatam. So Vidura is asking, please explain. Maitreya began to reply these questions, which he had kept in his heart, did not forget. The 4 to 9 verse talks about Lord Brahma creates the 14 worlds. Okay. So how many verses there here? 4 to 9. Some points mentioned here. So let us read some of the. Yeah. So please, Mataji, anybody likes to read?
I'll do, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
4 to 9. Lord Brahma creates the 14 worlds. Brahma meditated on the Lord for 100 celestial years as advised by the Lord. He saw both the lotus and the water trembling due to a strong, violent mind. Due to long penance, tapa, and transcendental knowledge, vidya, as told, Lord in 3.9.30, Lord Brahma acquired practical knowledge, Vivridha Vijnana, drank the wind and the water completely.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you very much. 6 till 6 you read, right? Yes.
Yes,
so there is one important thing to know, what exactly celestial year calls about, like that 100 celestial years. We see celestial years like one celestial year equals to 6 by 30 by 12 by 1000 of our years. We see, my mind is not able to count also. Let me share that point. This is there in our purports, one of the purport. See, just to learn this, what exactly celestial year all about. Lord Brahma heard that's where he created this. Lord Brahma heard the occult sound tapa, but he did not see the person who vibrated the sound. He disappeared, Krishna disappeared, and still he accepted the instruction as beneficial for him, and therefore he engaged himself in a meditation for 1000 celestial years. 1 celestial is equals to 6 by 30 by 12 by thousands of our years. There's a number is given. So let us continue. Yeah. So like that, he saw both the lotus and water trembling due to a strong, violent wind. Material elements there, right? Wind, air. So these are what are the material elements? Bhumira, Ponalo, Vayu, Kamana, Buddhirevacha. Some gross elements and subtle elements. In previous chapter, we learned that we have seen that. So 6th one talks about, due to long penance, tapa, the transcendental knowledge, vidya, as told by the Lord in 3.9.30, Lord Brahma acquired practical knowledge, Vivruddha Vijnana. What is the difference between Jnana and Vijnana? Jnana is a theoretical knowledge, Vijnana is a practical knowledge. Vivruddha Vijnana. Another name is Vivruddha Vijnana.
आजकल में नाटू नाटू हुआ डांस
Okay. Yes, Vivruddha Vijnana means practical knowledge, which can applicable for our life. And drank the wind and the water completely. 7 to 10, please read. Anybody? Brahma.
I can read,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Brahma then saw that the lotus spread throughout the universe and contemplated, from this lotus I will create all the planets as they were before the destruction. Thus engaged in Lord service, Brahma entered into the world of the lotus and first divided into 3 divisions and later into 14 divisions. Brahma could create all the 14 worlds suitable for different types of jivas because of his causeless devotional service in mature transcendental knowledge. Note, Maitreya had spoken about time several times previously in 3.8.12, 3.8.13, 3.8.22 and 3.10.5. Therefore, Vidura now asks about time. Vidura asked, describe the symptoms of eternal time, which is another form of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. The 7th one talks about Brahma saw lotus spread. That lotus spread throughout the universe and contemplated, from this lotus I will create all the planet. We have seen that, what is a picture called actually? It's a tip of my mind. What is that? The system, complete universe, right? How the spiritual world looks like.
Golok chat.
Thank you, Lavanya. Yes, Goloka chat. We see that, how the naval part of Supreme Lord, Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, how this Brahma takes place and how all other planetary systems roaming, situated. So here, I will create all the planets as they were before the destruction. Thus engaged in the Lord's service, Brahma entered into the world of the lotus and first divided into 3 divisions and later into 14 divisions. Brahma could create all 14 worlds suitable for different types of jivas because of his causeless devotional service in mature transcendental knowledge. Tene Brahma Hrudayo Adikavaya, once Krishna is given the proper knowledge, he is serving. Brahma is serving in terms of creation, right? Brahma's position is creation. He is creating. He created all this. Secondary creator, we call. Creator means obviously it's a secondary creator. Brahma could create all the 14 worlds suitable for different types of jivas. Even that's where different planetary systems created for these conditioned souls. Right now, there are different planetary systems and there are different innumerable living entities situated in that planets. How many species of life we multiple times read? How many species of life we see? Total number.
8.4 million, Prabhuji.
8.4 million. That means 84 lakhs of species. Each species having a innumerable entities. There is no count. There is no need. We won't be able to count. Countless. So all these 14 planetary systems, these jivas, different according to the desire that we frequently learn, that how these bodies takes place according to one's own desires. These gets these different bodies. So Maitreya had spoken about the time. That's where connected point mentioned by Prabhuji. Time also discussed in previous chapters, 3rd canto, 8th chapter, 12th verse, 13th verse, and 22nd verse. And here in 5th verse, again asking about the time. This is therefore Vidura asks about time. Vidura asks, describe the symptoms of eternal time, which is another form of the Lord. So everything is Krishna. How can we understand everything is Krishna? All the material world and spiritual world, all these elements, 24 elements, beyond 24 elements, there is a soul, super soul. All the jivas having these 2 kinds of bodies, even minute ant also having this minute body, mind, intelligence, and false ego. And made up of this Panchabhuta, Panchamahabhuta, Bhumi, earth, water, fire, air, either. Earth, water, fire, air, either. Yes. So that's fair. So let us see. Now, first he is explaining about characteristics of time. So how many verses? 3 verses, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, so now let us see sequentially read this. Okay. In these 3 verses, that's the beauty of Gauranga Darshan Prabhu's notes. All these verses he read and put it in nice points, 8 points. Okay, I'm requesting 8 devotees, please read one verse, one point, so that we will be engaged. Please read.
Can I read? Yeah, Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
Source of the interactions of the modes.
Guna vyakti kara karo. Guna
Gunavyati kara karo.
Gunavyati kara karo. Source of the interactions of the modes. What are the 3 modes we have? Mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. 3 guna. Yes. Sattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna. Yes. Next devotee, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Raja Prabhuji.
Yeah. Second point, lacks attributes and hence imperishable. Nirvishesho.
Thank you. Next mother is anybody?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Limitless.
Third one, yeah. Limitless, without beginning or ending.
Yes.
Apratishtaha.
Pratishta.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. Thank you, Mother.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
As an instrumental cause, it separates the material energy from the Lord. Vishwam Ishwarena Parichinnam.
Chinnam. Yes, Prabhuji. Many
Divides the universe into various planetary systems. Vishwam Parichinnam.
Vishwam Ishwarena. Vishwam Parichinnam. Different things. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead, Prabhuji. Please.
Some feature of the Lord, Avyakta Murtina.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Avyakta Murtina, unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Lord.
Objective manifestation or representative of the Brahma Tan Matra.
Brahma Tan Matram. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Causes the universe to appear alike in the present as it was in the past and shall be in the future. Idrisham.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, I'm writing here, connected point. Having described time in general, these are the characteristics of time, okay? In general, Maitreya will describe time in detail in the next chapter. That's the 3rd canto, 11th chapter. Before that, he discusses the process of creation in summary. This is just an overview in this chapter. But in the details, we see in the 3rd canto, 11th chapter. So, guna vyakti kara karo nirvishesho apratistaha vishwam ishwarena parichinnam vishwam parichinnam avyakta murtina brahma tanmatram idrisham. So these 8 points, 8 characteristics quoted out here from the 3 verses 11, 12, and 13. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham kalosmi. I am the eternal time. I am the time actually. Time, there is, there are synonyms, Kala Pariksha. We see in our daily life. My time is not good. My time is not going well. Time. Everybody is. So this is a material law, material nature designed like that. Time. Time is there and the time is applicable until only material creation. There is no question of time in the spiritual world. As long as time is there, when I still, time, these are the material, it's Krishna's creation. So here, sources of the interactions of the modes, guna vyaktikarana, that particular time, lacks attributes and hence imperceptible, nirvishesho. So we can learn from that. Maitreya is going to explain in next verses. Limitless, without beginning or end. That's where time is eternal, right? And the 5 subject matters, 4 eternal things. Time is eternal, material manifestation is eternal, material nature is eternal, Jiva is eternal, Ishvara is eternal. So eternal means when is beginning, when is ending. There is no question. That's limitless. Apratishtaha. As an instrumental cause, it separates material energy from the Lord. Vishwam Ishwarena Parichinnam. It separates from the material. It separates the material energy means. How can we understand? On material world only, this time is applicable. That's where, in the spiritual, there is no question of time. Eternal. Sachidananda Vigraha. We get the eternal body. We don't need to change any body when we go back to God. Eternal. Brahma's lifetime also condition. He also have to face the crucial death. Divides the universe into various planetary systems. Vishwam Parichinnam. Different planetary system having different time zone, different time frame. In Svargaloka, living entities are living more time. Brahmaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. Time is there again. As long as time is there, conditioned by time. Unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Lord. Avyakta Murtina is an impersonal feature of Supreme Lord. We cannot see, right? Can we see time? We can experience, but we cannot see with our impersonal. Person means we can able to see. Impersonally, we cannot able to see. Objective manifestation or representative of the Lord. This is a representation. That's where Bhagavad Gita talks about time also. Brahma Tan Matram causes the universe to appear like in the present, as it was in the past, shall be in the future. That's where time means what exactly time? Previous, present, and past. Past, present, future. That is correct. Past, it has happened. Present, it's going on now. And future, it is going to happen. Time can be in those three categories: present time, past time, future time. In English, we have present tense, past tense, future tense, just like that. Having described time in general, Maitreya will describe time in detail in the next chapter. That's very good. Before that, he discussed the process of creation in summary. Now, this is very, very important. 14 to 13, all the verses, 10 types of creation described in these verses. So, 3 types of destruction and 6 types of primary creation. And then 18 to 19, 29 verses talk 4 types of secondary creation by Brahma. Visarga and Vaikrita. It's a Sanskrit word. Visarga or Vaikrita. So let us read. So this is already organized. All the verses so nicely read. Prabhuji and his team come up with nice, what we call it. This one, anybody can tell, these flowchart, or flowchart, boxed diagrams and explaining the topics. So let us read. Okay, let us read. It's nice to learn and understand. 3 types of destruction. So Kala, Dravya, Guna. So now, please read any devotee this complete section. I'll stop each type.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Sanjay Prabhu, please read.
Yes. Under Kala, due to eternal time, devastation of all universes and of Brahma's life. Under Dravya, due to material elements, by the fire of Sankarshana and other factors, and of Brahma's day. Guna, due to one's own actions, consumption of one's own body.
Thank you. So 3 types of destruction. So Kala, due to eternal time, devastation of all universes, end of Brahma's life. So this Kala, that's where Brahma also has to end his life. Devastation of all universes. It is annihilation and manifestation. But time is always there. Annihilation and manifestation. It's eternal time. So destruction happens. Even though time is eternal, the annihilation takes place and again manifestation takes place. It's a continuous cycle. It's going on always. Dravya, due to material elements. We have material elements, right? Panchamahabhutas, 5 working senses, 5 knowledge, 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 sensory. Through that sensory, we get the knowledge. So total 24 elements, 3 gunas, mind, by the fire of Sankarshana and other factors. So, first expansion of Krishna is Sankarshana. Through Sankarshana only various, in the Bhagavatam only we have gone through how the creation takes place, how the expansion takes place from Krishna's body through the Sankarshan, and like that expanded, and so that's where it's a exemplifying, like fire of Sankarshana, expanding, like how the forest fire is spreads, right? Davanala, like that. End of Brahma's day. So, and here guna, due to one's own actions, consumption of one's own body. So how these bodies are coming up and coming into play in different bodies? How these living entity associate with these three gunas: mode of goodness, mode of passion, and ignorance. And due to one's own actions, tamasic action, rajasic action, or sattva guna action. That's right. Sagunan samati taitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Mamchi yoga vicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Sagunan samati taitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. It's very difficult actually to situate it in the beyond the three modes. But actually Krishna has only given that instruction. What is that? Mamchi yoga vicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Learn and understand how bhakti yoga can be practiced and performed. Through that, we will be situated beyond the three modes. Actually, Bhakti Yoga is not the material platform. Bhakti Yoga is a spiritual platform beyond Trigunatmaka, beyond the three modes of material nature. Suddha Sattva platform. Even though we are situated in the material world, but the holy name situated in the Shuddha Sattva platform. That's where the more we associate, the more we situated in the Shuddha Sattva. These Vaishnavacharyas, they chant 24 hours a day. Maybe 1 or 2 hours just bodily rest. That means they are already in this material world, they are spiritualized. That's it. Their life is that perfect. They perfect their life. Prabhupada writes actually, perfect our lives. Give this one life to Krishna. These statements by our Acharya, founder Acharya, Abhay Charanaranda Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Use it for Krishna service. I mean, that's the thing. So here, time. As long as time is there, this material bodies and created, and this one has to undergo sufferings according to one's own activities, karma. That's talks about the 3 types of destruction. And let us see this section 15 to 17, 6 types of primary creation. Prakruta Sarga. So in this section, I'm requesting all the Matatis, please read. Anybody, 1 or 2 devotees, please read. 6 types of primary creation, Prakruta Sarga, and there is 4 types of secondary creation by Brahma, Visarga or Vaikruta. Sanskrit word. Prakruta, Vaikruta. Sarga, Visarga. How many there? Sarga, 6 types. Visarga, how many there? 4 types. So total 10, right? As we learned here. 6 types of primary creation, 4 types of secondary creation. So total 10. So please read, anybody, Mataris. Whoever not read, please help yourself and please read here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Do you want me to read the
yes,
content inside the thing? Okay.
Yeah.
6 types of primary creation, Prakrata Sarga, Mahatattva, sum total of material ingredients, Guna Vaishishyam, interaction of modes instigated by Supreme Lord, Ahankara, false ego, material ingredients, Dravya, 5 elements, material knowledge, Jnana, sense, Devata's mind and knowledge senses, then material actions. Tanmatra, sense objects, Dravya, Shaktimam, generation, 5 gross elements, Indriya senses, 5 knowledge senses, 5 senses, 5 action senses. Deva, demigods and mind, interaction of Sattva-guna. Tamas, ignorance, produced by avidya, avidya shakti, makes the living entities. I'm unable to read, Prabhuji.
Act like a fool.
Act
Prabhu.
like a fool. Okay, act like a fool.
I'm the master in this material world. That's the problem. Okay, thank you, Mataji. So 6 types. So what are the Sanskrit? Mahattattva, Ahankara, Tanmatra, Indriya, Deva, Tamas. 6 types. So Mahattattva talks about sum total of material ingredients. What is that material ingredients? Guna Vaishamyam, interaction of modes instigated by Supreme Lord. 3 modes. There is one specific chapter in Bhagavad Gita. 3 modes are material nature. How a person, how a living entity is situated in different modes. The austerity, is eating habits, is different. Is a wonderful chapter in the Bhagavad Gita. I think 17th chapter. Modes of material nature. So these different interactions of the modes of material nature. It's called Guna Vaishamyam. So that's under Mahattattva. In Mahattattva, sum total of material ingredients in that Guna Vaishamyam. So Ahankara, false ego, that is the deep-rooted thing. Why we come to this material world? Because our false ego. What is that false ego? What is a false ego? False ego is, I am this body. And whatever this body is going to be permanent things. But actually, that is not the correct thing. False ego is, I am not this body. Aham Brahmasmi. But due to illusory energy of illusory potency of Supreme Lord, we think that everything relates to me is a permanent thing. It's deep-rooted false ego. What is true ego? I am the servant of Supreme Lord. What is false ego? Multiple definitions actually. I am master, I am controller, I am proprietor. Propensity to enjoyship, proprietorship, controllership. Master, I am the master of this material world. False ego, I am this body. But true ego, what true ego says, what is exactly true ego definition? Aham Brahmasmi, I am not this body, I am spirit soul. And what is the spirit soul's nature? Jivera Swarupave Krishnera Nityadas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. We are going to celebrate Gaurav Purnima tomorrow. At the end, I want to do some of the prayers. We'll do. So this is the thing. False ego. False ego can be material ingredients, dravya, 5 elements we have seen. Material knowledge, jnana, sense, devatas, mind, knowledge, senses. Material actions, kriya, action senses, material actions. Yeah. Same again, 24, we all know that 24 elements, 5 gross elements, Bhumira Ponala Vayu, 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 sensory object, 15, 20 done, 3 modes of material nature. That's one thing. 21, another 3. Other 3. Mind is there. There is 2 more things.
Intelligence, false ego.
What is the intelligence and false ego? If anybody knows, please help here. I forgot actually. These 5 are there, the gross elements, and then knowledge acquiring senses, working senses, sensory senses, 15, total 20. Mind is 21. Then modes all together is consisted 1, so 22. Another 2. So not soul is not there.
Mahatattva.
Yeah. Anyway, if anybody remembers, please you can check and let me know. Tanmatra, sense objects. Dravya, Shaktiman generates 5 gross elements. Let us read these. First, we are going through this table and this section. We will read Prabhupada translations quickly, and it won't take much time. Let us read translations and let us read some of the points from purports of Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so Indriya, senses, 5 knowledge senses, 5 action senses, action working senses. Deva, demigods and mind. Interactions of Saptaguna, Deva. Tamas, ignorance, produced by Avidya Shakti, makes the living entity Act like a fool. Prabhu. Prabhu means master in this material world. I wanted to enjoy like Krishna. That's why many times we got this knowledge, right? Why we come to we are all there, spirit souls. Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Sanatana means eternal. We are always there with Krishna, but it's due to influence of how inconceivable, we cannot understand how we got into this material world, and it cannot be traceable. When I come to this material world, I cannot able to trace. That's it. I have passed through different bodies. Now I got the human form of life. Don't think how I come from material world, spiritual world. Think about how I am going to go back to that, right? Because that is not in our it won't touch or understand through our mind intelligence. No, we won't be able to get that. Yes, we come due to enjoymentship, proprietorship, and controllership. Somehow we got that propensity. That's where we forgetful. We wanted to enjoy like Krishna. That's why Prabhupada writes, why we come to this material world. We want to like just like Krishna. But in the spiritual world, all are servants only. Krishna is the only master. Krishna is the only master. Everybody is a servant. So produced by Avidya, Shakti makes a living entity act like a fool. That's where Krishna has created this material world for these rebellious souls. Not service mode, not service attitude. They wanted to like master like Krishna. How can it be possible? When there are all the servants are serving so nicely Krishna, the particular living entity got this propensity to enjoy. That's why forcefully sent to in this material world. So there is no option for Krishna. That's why material world is created for the conditioned souls. Then enjoy, go and enjoy and suffer, and then you realize and come back. But Krishna always looks for when this soul is coming back to me, why this much suffering? That is our only free will. We couldn't utilize that free will in proper way. That's where, act like a fool. Baddhajivi, right? Baddhajivi, condition living entity. How are the condition living entity? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. One has to, that's why we read in our SSR, the three real problems. What are the real problems? Three things. One has to, everybody has to go through, everybody has to experience it. Nobody can avoid. Nobody can avoid. Everybody has to go through, experience it. That's why we are fools. I mean, in another way, we are conditioned living entities. That's where, condition, fallen, condition, ignorant, fools. But there is every opportunity we have. Now we are very fortunate. This term talks about materialists. At least we come to the platform of Bhakti Yoga and start understanding these concepts, how to perform bhakti through the instructions of various acharyas. So let us read this section and we'll go to translation. This is the one last page. Now, two to three devotees, Prabhuji, Sir, Matas, anybody, please. This is very important. 4 types of secondary creation by Brahma. It's called Visarga. Previously, it's a Sarga. It's called Prakruta, another Sanskrit Shabda. Prakruta, right? Or Sarga. Here, Visarga, Vaikruta. 4 types of secondary creation. In that also, different divisions. Please go through it. Anybody, please read. And then we'll go.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. 4 types of secondary creation by Brahma. Visarga or Vaikrita. Immovable jivas, plants, characteristics, consciousness not evident, upward nourishment, feel pain when cut, unlimited varieties. In immovable jivas, 6 types. Vanaprastha without flowers but having fruit. Vanaprastha. Yeah. Vanaprastha. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Osadhayaha, annual plants. Lata plants that need support. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah. Twaksara, hollow plants, bamboo. Viruddhaha, stiff trunk, no support needed. Drumaha give fruit through flowers. Prabhuji, can you please scroll? Yeah. Lower species animals. Characteristics, horizontal nourishment, no concept of future deliberation, preoccupied with eating and sleeping, understand their needs by smell. 28 types. 2-hooved, 1-hooved, 5-clawed, birds, land dwelling, and aquatic. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So the other two, anybody likes to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, no, Prabhuji, please read.
Human beings. Characteristics of the human beings. Downward nourishment. They are passionate. They are dedicated to work. They think themselves happy even in distress. Only of one type. Demigods. There are 8 types of demigods. Vibhudhas or demigods. Pitris or the forefathers. Asuras, demons. Gandharvas and Apsaras. Yakshas and Rakshasas. Siddhas, Charanas and Vidyadharas. Bhutas, Pretas and Pisachas. Kinnaras, Kimpurushas and others. Note, Prakrita or Sarga is primary creation and is done by the Lord. Vaikrita or Visarga is secondary creation and is done by Brahma. Hare Krishna.
So these are the things so nicely organized. We have to remember this nice point. Prakruta Sarga is originally created by Krishna. His primary creation and is done by the Lord. We see this one, right? False ego, Mahatattva, all the elements, sensory objects, senses, demigods, those ignorance, the modes. Vaikruta, secondary creation is done by Brahma. So these are so nicely. And in the Bhagavad Gita also we see Yaksha, Siddhas, Bhutas, Kinnaras, Gandharvas, in the purpose he writes in particular verse, right? What is that verse? Can anybody? Yanti loka, Yanti deva vrata devan, Pitrun yanti Pitrun vrata, Bhutani yanti Bhuteja. Then last line. Yeah, see, that's the thing. So this is created by whom? This is different. Created by Brahma. But originally the source, primary creation, with that only, all this. So immovable plants, immovable jivas, plants, their characteristics. Conscious is not much developed. See this upward down nourishment, downward nourishment, horizontal nourishment. Let us read proper purpose nourishment. Feel pain when cut. Even plants also having pain. But we won't be able to see, but internally, see the living entity, plant also living entity, thousands of years standing like that, a jiva. Redwood trees, Guru Maharaj says, redwood trees are how, from the ground, how they tied their consciousness, how that strong foundation, redwood trees in the California side. So these are all living entities. Consciousness is not evident. So in the 6 types, vanas pataya, without flowers but having fruit. Different types in this plants category. Oshadaha, annual plants. Lata, plants that need support. Right? We see lata. If it is having support, with the support it will grow. Vakshara, hollow plants, bamboo. Virudha, stiff trunk, no support is needed. Right? Some trees, some plants, no support. It's growing like that. No support needed. Dhruma, give fruit through flowers. It's a different organization. So nicely organized. It's by Brahma. Lower species, animals, human beings, and demigods. These are 3 different. So mainly this is the category only. Jivas means demigod also jiva. Little consciousness developed, more consciousness compared to human beings. And human beings, more consciousness developed compared to lower species of animals. And lower species consciousness developed compared to jivas. So it's a gradation or the levels of consciousness. Characteristics characteristics. Horizontal, we'll see this one. Horizontal nourishment, no concept of future, deliberation, preoccupied with eating and sleeping, understand their needs by smell. That is the thing. That's where here types, 28 types of lower species animals. 2 hooved, 1 hooved, 5 clad, birds, land dwelling and aquatic. Jalajana, Lakshani, Stavara, Lakshamimshati, and Manushya in 4 lakhs species. So that Purana talks about 8,400,000, 84 lakhs of species. So the types in that also there. Human beings characteristic downward nourishment, passionate, dedicated to work, think themselves happy even in distress. Only one type. We understand from Prabhupada's purpose anyway. Demigods, 8 types. Vibhudhas, demigods, Pitrus, forefathers, Asuras, demons, Gandharvas and Apsaras, Yakshas, Rakshasas, Siddhas, Charanas, Vidyadharas, Bhutas, Pretas, Pisachas, Kinnaras, Kimpurushas, and others. Various living entities is Krishna's creation. Brahma created through the source of primary creation. So last 3, 27, 28. So these verses can be complete. Anybody likes to read, please? Then we'll go back to Prabhupada translations.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Creation of sense devatas from Ahankara in Sattva Guna comes under Prakarta. Creation of other devatas by Brahma comes under Vakarta. Creation of 4 Kumaras is mixed creation, both Prakarta and Vakarta. As they were generated by Brahma's meditation on the Lord, thus both Brahma and the Lord are the cause. 30th. I shall describe the Manvantras and the descendants of the Manus, the creator Brahma, as the incarnation of the passion mode of the Lord, creates the universal affairs with unfailing desires, amog sankalpa, by the force of the Lord's energy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So let us go to our Veda base and Srila Prabhupada's some of the purports, some of the verses. Let us understand. Okay, so let me share. Chapter 1, 3, 13. I just told now. So many browser windows open. Sorry. Yeah. So we are here. So let me share this one. Yeah. Yes. So we already done. I mean, mostly these verses in an organized way. So now I wanted to see some of the points. So first 1 to 3 is just asking questions, inquiries. Idra is asking about the Brahma's creation, Maitreya Muni. So now this section is very important. 11 to 13, let us see how Prabhupada is written. So let me put this only translation. Yeah. Okay. The translation. Yes. So 11 to 13. Let us directly go to 11 to 13. Prabhupada write so nicely written this text 11. Let us read it. This is very important purport of this verse. Text 11. So let me read the translation and go over to purport. Let us read. Maitreya said, eternal time is the primal source of the interactions of the three modes of material nature. It is unchangeable and limitless, and it works as the instrument of the Supreme Personality of God for his pastimes in the material creation. So nicely explained, right? Eternal time is the primeval source of the interactions of the three modes of material nature. It is unchangeable and limitless, and it works as an instrument of the Supreme Personality of Godhead for his pastimes in the material creation. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs there. Please read. Lavanya, can you read this one?
Yeah, purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Purport. The impersonal time factor is the background of the material manifestation as the instrument of the Supreme Lord. It is the ingredient of assistance offered to material nature. No one knows where time began and where it ends, and it is the time only which we can keep a record of the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material manifestation. This time factor is the material cause of creation and is therefore a self-expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Time is considered the impersonal feature of the Lord.
Yes, thank you, Lavanya. So this is a time which can keep a record of the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material manifestation. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, right? Brahma is Srishti, creation, Sthiti, Vishnu, and destruction, Lord Shiva. So these three is called Gunavataras. Mode of ignorance, mode of passion, mode of goodness. So Brahma situated in the mode of passion. Lord Shiva situated in the mode of ignorance. Ignorance means not ignorant, like it's elevated, it's Vaishnavana Vetashan. We have to understand that way. The mode, the conducting nature, the destruction of the mode of ignorance, maintenance, mode of goodness, Vishnu. So that's a Gunavatara. So that's there. Is it time is an impersonal feature of the Lord. So that's there is no, we cannot able to see the form, right? We just experience there is a time, but we cannot see the person. That's very impersonal feature. So that's we read in book also, in study guide. So let us read. Matai, Seni Matai, can you please help here? Read.
I'll read Prabhuji.
Yeah, Sandhya Matai.
The time factor is also explained by modern men in various ways. Some accept it almost as it is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. For example, in Hebrew literature time is accepted in the same spirit as a representation of God. It is stated therein, God, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by prophets. Metaphysically, time is distinguished as absolute and real. Absolute time is continuous and is unaffected by the speed or slowness of material things. Time is astronomically and mathematically calculated in relation to the speed, change, and life of a particular object. Factually, however, time has nothing to do with the relatives of things. Rather, everything is shaped and calculated in terms of the facility offered by time. Time is the basic measurement of the activity of our senses, by which we calculate past, present, and future. But in factual calculation, time has no beginning and no end. Chanakya Pandita says that even a slight fraction of time cannot be purchased with millions of dollars, and therefore even a moment of time loss without profit must be calculated as the greatest loss in life. Time is not subjected to any form of psychology, nor are the moments objective realities in themselves, but they are dependent on particular experiences.
Continue, Matai. You can close.
Therefore, Srila Jiva Goswami concludes that the time factor is intermixed with the activities, actions, and reactions of the external energy of the Lord. The external energy or material nature works under the superintendence of the time factor as the Lord Himself, and that is why material nature appears to have produced so many wonderful things in the cosmic manifestation. Bhagavad Gita 9.10 confirms this conclusion as follows. Maya dakshena prakritihi suyate sa characharam hetunanena kaunteya jagad viparivartate.
Yes, Mother. Thank you, Mother. So this is the thing. Yoga Goswami is one of our 6 Goswamis. Great Vaishnava Acharya. What he's saying concludes that the time factor is intermixed with the activities, actions, and reactions of the external energy of the Lord. That external energy or material nature works under the superintendence of the time factor as the Lord himself. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. So his time is acting. In the material nature, his time is acting. That is run by Krishna. So yate sacharacharam hetuna in account jagat parivartate. It is repeatedly, it's going on. So this is the one point. So from this characteristics of time is eternal, it is impersonal, it acts, and that's where present, past, future, that's where that creation, maintenance, destruction, annihilation, manifestation. Time is always there. So let us see the 10 types of creation, the 3 types of destruction that 14th verse talks about. 14th verse. Yes. Anybody, any Prabhuji, can you please read translation and purport? Text 14. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Text 14 translation. There are 9 different kinds of creations besides the one which naturally occurs due to the interactions of the modes. There are 3 kinds of annihilations due to the external time, the material elements, and the quality of one's work. Purport. The scheduled creations and annihilations takes place in terms of the supreme will. There are other creations due to the interactions of material elements which take place by the intelligence of Brahma. Later, these will be more explicitly explained. At present, only preliminary information is given. The 3 kinds of annihilations are due to the scheduled time of the annihilation of the entire universe. Second one, due to the fire which emanates from the mouth of Ananta. And third one, due to the one's qualitative actions and reactions. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you. So this is the thing. How destruction takes place. 3 types of destruction. What is that? Due to the scheduled time of the annihilation of the entire universe, right? Different yugas we have, right? Kali Yuga, before that Treta Yuga, before that Dwapara Yuga, before that Treta Yuga, and before that Sapta Yuga. So 432,000 years Kali Yuga time frame into 2 Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, into 3, 432,000 into 3 is going to be Treta Yuga time frame. And then 432,000 into 4 is going to be Sapta Yuga time frame. So this particular time is there for each yuga. The annihilation, destruction, annihilation, material manifestation takes place. And second one is due to a fire which emanates from the mouth of Ananta. So that also annihilation, one type of annihilation. Due to one's qualitative actions and reactions. Due to one's qualitative actions and reactions. One has to change. Due to influence of time, one has to change, right? Time is so, see, we witnessing, right? How time is working in our bodies, right? Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tata dehantaram praptis dhirastathanam hyati. The body soul continually crosses from one body to another body, from boyhood to youth to old age. Where is a time when I was 5-year-old, when I was 15-year-old? Time, because time is acting. Right? That's where time in this material world, time is divided by, right? 24 hours, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, 100 years. Right? So that's the thing. So due to one's qualitative actions and reactions, body has to undergo destruction. 3 types of destruction. That's what it is, That's the thing. So with the fire, with one's own qualitative actions and reactions, according to the mode situated, and then due to the schedule annihilation, 3 types. So nice to learn. So this is one thing. And 6 types, some of the points we are on almost hitting the time, 15 minutes more. Another 5-10 minutes. I won't take much. 6 types of primary creation. So that's 15 to 17. So 15, 16, 17. So 17, Prabhupada is given wonderful purport. We'll read actually, 15. So it's a Mahat Tattva. 15 is talks about of the 9 creation. The first one is the creation of the Mahat Tattva, sum total of metal ingredients we have seen in the box, wherein the modes interact due to the presence of Supreme Lord. In the second, a false ego generated, which is material ingredients, material knowledge, and material activities arise. So this is very important. The Prabhupada's purport explanation. The first emanation from the Supreme Lord for a material creation is called Mahat Tattva. The interaction of the material modes is the cause of false identification. That is the cause. The interactions of the material modes is the cause of false identification of these jivas, or the sense that a living being is made up of material elements. This false ego is the cause of identifying the body and mind with the soul proper. Material resources and the capacity and knowledge to work are all generated in the second term of creation. After the Mahat Tattva, Jnana indicates the senses which are sources of knowledge and their controlling deities. Work entails the working organs and their controlling deities. All these are generated in the second creation. So primary creation. What is that primary creation? Mahat Tattva, sum total of material ingredients, guna, interaction instigated by Supreme Lord, interactions of these modes. That's the thing. So false identification or the sense that living being is made of material elements. This false ego is the cause of identifying the body and mind with the soul of our identification, bodily attachment, bodily concept. Prabhupada writes, bodily concept of life. I am this body, I'm man, I'm woman, I am African American, I'm Indian, like that. Identification of the bodies. Text 17 is a purport is big. Let us read. This is one of the important thing. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining the fifth incarnation is that of controlling deities by the interaction of the mode of goodness, of which the mind is the sum total. The sixth creation is the ignorant darkness of the living entity, by which the master acts as a fool. Thus we see Tamoguna. 6 types, Mahatattva, Ahankara, Tanmatra, Indriya, Deva, Tamas. So in this, if you see here, the sense perceptions are created in the third creation, and from these elements are generated. Fourth creation is the creation of knowledge and working capacity. Fifth creation is that of controlling deities by the interactions of the mode of goodness, which the mind is sum total. And sixth creation, those are the Sanskrit words there in the verses: Mahatattva, Ahankara, Tanmatra, Indriya, Deva, Tamas. So now, the fifth creation is that of the controlling deities of the interactions of the mode of that's where we read. So Tamoguna acts like a fool, acting like a master. We are always dependent on Krishna's energies in every aspect of life. We are dependent on his energy actually. If Krishna stops breathing propensity, the breathing element, no jiva is going to live. Now, of course, human beings, for example, if we take an example of human species, if Krishna stops the breathing, the metal element, what happens? See, this material world is dependent on Krishna's energies. We need electricity, we need moonlight, we need sunlight. Think about absence of these 3 elements. Darkness, we are in the darkness. So it's a big purport. Let us quickly read now important points by Srila Prabhupada. Anybody likes to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prasad, Prabhu.
Yeah, okay, Prabhu. Shall I read it, Prabhu?
Please complete journey.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay. The demigods in the higher planets are called devas because they are all devotees of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu Bhakti, Smruto, okay, Daiva, Asura, Tadviprayaha. All the devotees of Lord Vishnu are devas, are demigods, whereas all other are asuras. It's a heavy statement. Okay, that is the division of devas and asuras. Devas are situated in the mode of goodness, of material nature, whereas the asuras are situated in the mode of passion or ignorance. The demigods are controlled deities. The demigods are controlling deities, are entrusted with the departmental management of all different functions of material world. For example, one of our sense organs, the eye, is controlled by the light. Light is distributed by the sun rays. And therefore, controlling deity is the sun. Similarly, the mind is controlled by the moon. All other senses, both are working and for acquiring knowledge are controlled by the different demigods. The demigods are assistants of Lord in the management of material affairs. After the creation of the demigods, all entities are covered by the darkness of ignorance. Each and every living being in the material world is conditioned by his mentality of lording it over the resources of material nature. Although a living entity is the master of material world, he is conditioned by ignorance, by the false impression of being the proprietor of material things. Hare Krishna.
Complete, Janku. 2 paragraphs. Prabhuji.
Shall I continue,
Complete.
Prabhu? Okay, Prabhu, sure. The energy of Lord is called avidya, is the bewildering factor of the conditioned souls. The material nature is called avidya or ignorance. But to the devotee of the Lord engaged in the pure devotional service, the energy becomes vidya or knowledge or pure knowledge. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. The energy of the Lord transforms from Mahamaya to Yogamaya and appears to pure devotees in her real feature. The material nature, therefore, appears to function in the phases as the creative principles of material world and ignorance as knowledge, as disclosed in the previous verse. In the fourth creation of power of knowledge is also created. The conditioned souls are not originally fools, but by the influence of avidya function of material nature, they are made fools, and thus they are unable to utilize knowledge in the proper channel. By the influence of darkness, the conditioned soul forgets his relationship with the Supreme Lord and is overwhelmed by the attachment, hatred, pride, ignorance, and false identification. The 5 kinds of illusion that cause material bondage. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
The first
Thank you very
paragraph. Thank you very much. The first paragraph, Prabhupada talks about these demigods having responsibility for different departmental functionality, and each of our senses also there is a particular demigod is responsible for. I think last time when I take Bhagavatam, we have gone through different parts. Each demigod, responsible for that. It's Krishna service. Krishna, they are serving Krishna in that way. So here there is one verse, avidya kama karmibhi. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says avidya kama karmibhi. See, basically the problem is avidya, ignorance. Ignorance is the bewildering factor for the condition. So ignorance for what? Ignorance of identity, our identification. What is my identity? Am I body or am I spirit soul? So the material nature is called avidya, ignorance. But to the devotees, the Lord engaged in pure devotional service, this energy becomes vidya, pure knowledge. So when the energy of the Lord transforms from Mahamaya to Yogamaya and appears to pure devotees in her real feature, the material nature therefore appears to function in 3 phases. Right? Creative principle of the material world, ignorance as knowledge, as disclosed in the previous verse. In the 4th creation of the power of knowledge is also created. The conditioned souls are not originally fools, but by the influence of the avidya function, actually all the souls are pure, become conditioned by avidya, bodily attachment. So this Prabhupada writes, how the material bondage takes place. These 5 kinds: attachment, hatred, pride, ignorance, and false identification. Beautiful statement. By attachment to the body, hatred, pride, ignorance, false identification with the body, attached to that body, and these are the illusion that causes material bondage. That's where it's continuously one body after one body after one body. That's why we have to put ourselves in the right path and purify our existence. Prabhupada writes, purify our existence. So let us directly go to the other section. 4 types of secondary creation by Brahma, that is immovable jivas, lower species, plants, animals, human beings, and demigods. I think we are almost there. I want to see one purport specifically. Yes. Text 26, especially. The creation of the human beings, who are one of the species only and who stock their eatables in the belly, is the 9th in the rotation. In the human race, the mode of passion is very prominent. Humans are always busy in the midst of miserable life, but they think themselves happy in all respects. This is a beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada. With this, we will conclude. Okay. Any Mataji, can you please read? So it's kind of technical, this topic, not like story or pastimes, because of the creation is like that. It's a we have to understand, even though it's technical things. That's why we take support of these study guides so that we get some good understanding. So anybody, please, Mataji.
Purpose. The human being is more passionate than the animals, and thus the sex life of a human being is more irregular. The animals have their due time for sexual intercourse, but the human being has no regular time for such activities. The human being is endowed with a higher advanced stage of consciousness for getting relief from the existence of material miseries, but due to his ignorance, he thinks that his higher consciousness is meant for advancing in the material comforts of life. Thus, his intelligence is misused in the animal propensities, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, instead of spiritual realization. By advancing in material comforts, the human being puts himself into a more miserable condition, but illusioned by the material energy, he always thinks himself happy, even while in the midst of misery. Such misery of human life is distinct from the natural comfortable life enjoyed even by the animals.
Many times, repeatedly, we read this: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Misusing our intelligence. Thus, his intelligence is misused in animal propensities. Animals are also having these 4 propensities: eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. Human beings having this special characteristic, discrimination power. So that is not, that means using intelligence, using most of the times, that's where meat eaters, intoxicants, illicit sexes, these guys, all the breaking the regulatory principles. Intelligence they are not using. Intelligence is misused in animal propensity, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That one. Instead of spiritual realization, by advancing in material comfort, the human beings puts himself into more miserable condition, right? But illusioned by the material energy, but he always thinks himself happy, even while in the midst of misery. Such miseries of human life is distinct from the natural, comfortable life enjoyed even by the animals. That's why animals, in animal, that body doesn't have any karma. So after that body finish, they get higher birth. That whatever karma supposed to finish in that body, after that, the particular animal gets a higher birth. According to the Supreme, is direction only. There is no karma in the living and in the lower species. Already karma happened. That's why they took the birth lower species. And after the karma is done, next body is going to come. But human beings, we are creating our karma. That's where karma is applicable for only human beings. We may go down the lowest species of life if we take up the understanding these instructions of the Supreme Lord. Human life is very rare. Durlabha manusha janma. So we have to use it for right purpose. The human being is more passionate than animals. That's this propensity. Opposite sex enjoyment. No regulation. Prabhupada writes actually many times. Use it for that purpose, right purpose. Krishna himself says, right, na? The Bhagavad Gita, the aham kama, right? Krishna is there. But according to rules and regulations, according to the again, this point writes by Srila Prabhupada actually using that, enjoying that sexual propensity in the right purpose, using for begetting Krishna conscious children. That's it. Not for recreation, enjoyment, sensual enjoyment. That's the problem again. See, why a living entity is conditioned? Because of that one, that is the Hridaya Granthi, the propensity to enjoy opposite sex, male, female. So that's the thing. So we have to come out of this. And again, the intercourse develops the bodily concept of life. Again, that's where regulation is there to come out of the bodily concept of life. That's where we have one regulated principle, no illicit sex. So that's the thing. So Prabhupada writes so nicely this purport, text 26. Avrut aravak srotastu navama kshatir eka vidonrutam rajodhika karma para dukkecha sukhamanina. This is the creation of the human beings who are one of the species only and who stock their eatables in the belly is a ninth in the rotation. In the human race, the mode of passion is very prominent. That's why I'm always passionate. We are always in the passionate and ignorance only. Most of the times. That's where this Bhakti Yoga helps us to situate at least in the mode of goodness in the beginning stage. Of course, chanting is situated beyond the three modes, but we are still in the material modes. Humans are always busy in the midst of miserable life, but they think themselves happy in all respects. That's where Prabhupada writes this purport. So this is the enjoyment, right? Materialists always think in these four only. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. That's it. They get happiness in this. But when a devotee practices devotional life, regulate in this. When regulate, that's where it's tapas. Devotee, it's not easy to go back to your Prabhuji's and Mataji's, unless we perform some tapasya. Tapasya in this. Regulation in eating, regulation in sleeping, regulation in defending, regulation in mating. So that's the thing. So in this overall chapter, we can see that's Krishna. First is primary creation done by Krishna himself, the first one. What are those? Mahatattva, Ahankara, Tanmatra, Indriya, Deva, Tamas. And then four types of secondary creation, plus plants, starts with plants and animals, and then human beings, and then demigods. Then demigod category, different categories we have seen. So overall, these topics, how the creation takes place, how the Brahma is created based on original creation, primary creation. So yeah, in continuation, we anyway in 11th chapter of 3rd canto also talks about the time. So the time is going to be we will learn in 11th chapter of the 3rd canto in more details, right? So with this, so technical, I cannot help because we have to go through the divisions of the creation. Okay, anybody have anything? I'm done with this call. So anybody have any questions or anything to add or any corrections, any comments? Please help me to learn from you all.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. I just have one question, Prabhu. Like you said, the time is eternal, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But time also has a limit, Prabhu. Like there is a day, okay, there is a year, okay, there is a yuga, okay, and there is a kalpa, and it has fixed number of years. Yes, yes, Prabhu. It has, but we don't know. But when kalpa started, so in the context, we can say that time has a limitation, and also time is eternal. Both are true, right, Prabhu? It depends upon how you see the context. I'm not sure whether I have explained my question properly, Prabhu.
So,
Got it, Prabhu?
Yes, yes. Time is eternal. Even though annihilation takes place, again manifestation takes place.
Correct, Prabhu.
That is always there. Time is always there. So in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada only says this. All four are eternal. That means there is no question of in the stopping, Prabhu. That's where when it is begin, when it is going to end. Eternal, the concept of eternal is there is no question of beginning and no question of ending.
Starting point, we don't know. Okay.
No, we don't know, and even ending point also.
Ending point also, we don't know.
Eternal.
But other side, when you see, it is fixed from our point of
It appears.
because yeah, it appears. Yeah, it appears. Correct.
These yugas there, Prabhu. 432,000, 864,000, blah blah blah. So the different yugas time is given. In a higher planetary system, Brahma lives, we see in the Prabhupada purpose calculated 411 billion trillion years. There is also measurement is there. But as per the understanding, it is time is always eternal. Even though it looks like the time frame is given, it is always there.
Yes,
got it. To know particular yuga, we have calculated. Okay. You want to add, Lavanya? Since you said, say anything on the time? You shared, Nana? Yes. You wanted to add anything?
It's like measurement, Prabhuji. We can measure, right? So that everybody knows. So it's like measuring the time. Calculation. Time is eternal, but we can measure, right? To put in the scriptures, everything.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Anybody?
Something very peculiar. Time is something very peculiar. It is measurable and also it is eternal. Yeah, that is something very unique. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes. Thank you, Lavanya. Yes. Anybody
Actually,
have
in Gauranga Darshan, Prabhuji, next page, it is given elaborately, Prabhuji. What is lava and what is year, what is kshena, nimisha, everything is he has
I
given.
think
11th chapter. Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji.
Divisions of time.
Yeah.
Okay, Mataji. Sure.
We are done 9:08. Sunday, you all have different satsangs and programs. If anybody have any questions or anything to add, Prabhuji, Mataji, let us wrap up with one beautiful prayer of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Okay. Okay. This is a beautiful prayer.
You're showing that some satsang. You said you are going to show Prabhu attend.
Prabhuji?
You said something satsang going on, Prabhu. A brother of somebody.
Okay. I'll show quickly. Okay.
Yeah.
Before
we got to see that.
Yeah, before that, let us recite this prayer on the auspicious occasion of Gauranga Mahaprabhu birthday, appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has given, we all know right away, Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishna Chaitanyaya, Namane Gauradvishe Namaha. Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishna, Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam, Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam, Namani Bhakta Shaktikam. See, this is the beauty of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Can you all repeat after me? This is a beautiful prayer, and we will wrap up with this. Anarpita charam chirat.
Anarpita charam chirat.
Karunaya vatirna kalau.
Karunaya vatirna kalau.
Samarpayitam unnato jwalarasam.
Samarpayitam unnato jwalarasam.
Swabhakti shriyam.
Swabhakti shriyam.
Hari Purata Sundara Dyuti Kadamba Sandipita.
Hari
Puratana Sundara Dyuti Kadamba Sada Pita.
Sada Hrudaya Kandare Spuratu Va Sachinandana.
Sada Kandare Va Sachinandana.
Sorry, Lavanya, you can also do. Mottan Jesta. Then you'll do. And anybody likes to do, they can do. Then we'll read translation and wrap up. Anarpita charem chirat karunaya vatirna kalau. समर्पयुतम् उन्नतोज्ज्वलरसां स्वभक्ति श्रियम् हरि पुरट सुन्दर द्युति कदम्ब सन्दीपिता सदा हृदय कंदरे स्फुरतु वा सचिनन्दना
अनार्पितचरितं चिरात् करुणयावृतं करुणया तीर्णया कलो समार्पितम् उन्नतोज्ज्वलरसां स्वभक्तिश्रियम् हरिपुरत सुन्दरद्युतिकदम्ब सन्दीपिता सदा हृदयकन्दरे स्फुरतो वा सचिनन्दना.
Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, first chapter, 4th verse, super verse. So, Prabhuji, anybody likes to recite or?
Yes,
Haribol.
Prabhu.
Yes,
Hello.
do it. Yes,
Hare
do it,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Do it one time. Anarpita chiram chiram charam chiram.
Anarpita charitam chirat karunya vatirnah kalau samarpayitum unatojvala rasam svabhakti shriyam haripurata sundara dyuti kadamba sandipitaha sada hridaya kandare sfurato vaha Shachinandana. Hare Krishna.
Please read this translation.
Translation. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Sachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chambers of your heart, resplendent with the radiance of molten gold. He has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before, the most sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This is a beautiful prayer. Another prayer. Let us do. Okay. So this is talks about the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. What is his, how he appeared and what he is giving. Causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation. That's why Namo Mahavadanya has ever offered before, the most sublime and radiant mellow of devotion service, the mellow of conjugal love. Krishna Prema, highest rasa, Madhurya rasa. So now here, last one more verse. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunaya Shravanadi Suddhe Chitte Karaye Udaya. Please repeat after me. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunaya Shravanadi Suddha Chitte Karaye Udaya.
Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Abhudaya Shravanadi Suddha Chitte Karaye Udaya.
Yeah.
Please read. This is very beautiful verse. Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Pure love, Hare Krishna. Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, this love is naturally awakens.
Haribol. That let us conclude. So hearing and chanting is very important in devotional life. So let us pray to Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu to bestow mercy upon all of us to nicely practice pure devotional service, Krishna Bhakti. So tomorrow is an auspicious occasion of Gaura Purnima. I wish you all a very happy Krishna conscious. Already Gaura Purnima. Krishna is Gaura. Gaura means golden. Gaura means golden complexion. Srimad Radharani's form. So wish you all the very best. Wish you all happy Gaur Purnima. Please pray for me, pray for our family. Keep us in your prayers. Thank you so much for patience to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, even though little technical. It's like some topics are like that, not stories, technical things. So thank you for the patience and love, support, and in hearing. Thank you so much. Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
So I will show. Hare Krishna
Yes,
Prabhuji,
yes.
thank you very much. Dandavat Pranam for your beautiful class today, and that too about the creation starting, and you quoted so many cross references, and also given us the mood of Gaur Purnima, and Mataji as usual helped a lot in doing the best. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Prabhuji, can I share video?
Yeah, sure, please go ahead. Sure.
I will share in video. Okay.
Yeah,
Quickly.
I'll stop recording, Prabhuji, and then you can show it.
Yeah, I can show. Yeah, I can show here also.